Well, we have made it to the Premier League. It's taken a very long time to get here, but we are finally here. In today's episode, we've got a lot of transfers to talk about. We are also going to hopefully play 2 games, Bournemouth and Manchester City. I'm expecting that's going to be 2 ends of the spectrum. We might do alright against Bournemouth. We're probably going to get hammered by Man City. Now, the first thing that you do when you get promoted to the Premier League is you spend lots of money. We haven't done that. We've spent about £25 million. If we take a look, we've got Andrew Bean and Jim Gregg, who I showed you in the last episode. Andrew Bean is a defensive midfielder. He's not bad, is he? He's going to probably get a fair few games. He's obviously going to play in the middle of the pitch because we don't play defensive midfielders, but reasonable signing from Everton. We also have Jim Gregg, who is going to be our number 1 left-back, signed from today's opponent, Bournemouth. Wasn't playing for them for some reason. He's very good, in my opinion. We've also signed this guy, Mohamed Bougray? No idea. He's out on loan at AFAD Jekanu, and for some reason is worth 25 to 37 million pounds. I don't know why. I have no idea why he's worth so much money. He's good, but he's not that good, is he? Let's talk about some outs as well. We'll go through the final 5 players joining the club in a minute. We'll go through 3 of them. 2 of them are kind of a waste of money. Not a waste of money, they're a waste of time. Ginez Uriah has gone to Fulham because he had a minimum fee release and I couldn't get it out of his contract, which was kind of annoying because he's very good, and now he's not our player anymore. Roberto Massimo has left the club as well, spent a lot of last season on the sidelines with a broken leg, so the fact that we have managed to get £8 million for a player we signed on a free transfer who is 31 years old and had a broken leg, I don't know what Union Berlin were thinking here. He's not worth that much money. Probably one of the bigger ones to leave the club is Mohamed Ihataren. We obviously signed him back in January, not very long ago. He has moved on to Monaco for £7.25 million, so a £5 million profit for just 6 months worth of football for Ihataren. We have replaced him. That is Alan here from Ulsan. He's not South Korean. For some reason he was playing there. We've also sold Vittorio Colombo and Reece Norrington Davies to Augsburg. Decent amount of money for Norrington Davies there. Gamble leaving. We've got rid of Batterina. Ricardo Knoll has left. A couple of other players as well leaving on cheap deals. This one's kind of annoying. Obed Afari to Southampton. I think there's potential there, but he's just not getting the game time for us. He played 33 times for Hamburg last season. He's already played once for Southampton in the Championship. So, maybe this could be a breakout season for Obed Afari. Not that it really matters to us because he's not our player anymore. Go away, Diego Pereira. So, we've also loaned out a whole load of players. Martin Pereira, Chappie Kensdale, Lewis Rogers, Yannick Yusufu, Darnell Story, Matthias de Groot, who he's rubbish, I think. So is this guy. They both came through our youth intake, basically. UG, he's a Chinese man who we signed because he looked alright and didn't get a work permit because, Brexit and all that jazz. Matt Johnson going out on loan. Aliou Sane, Gonzalez, Takiyanagi. I need him to get a work permit. I really need him to get a work permit. He's been here since he was 18 years old. He's 25. Suazo, Kavic, Kamis, Pilbro and Paraga all going out on loan as well. We've brought in £40 million and we spent about 25 plus the money that we obviously get from being in the Premier League. We have brought in Rodrigo Velázquez, who is rubbish. I brought him in because he's Juve. I kind of just saw Colombian centre-back playing for Juve. We'll bring him in. He's not very good. We're going to try and play him as a centre-back. Oh, I say play him. We're going to try and loan him out and get him played as a centre-back somewhere else. Someone who's been here before, Nguyen Van Hijn, 22-year-old English winger, signed from Arsenal on a free transfer. I mean, he's got is pace, but he does have 16 finishing as well. So, I mean, we're probably not going to see a huge amount of Van Hijn, but the fact that we brought him back after a successful, 6 months, I think he had back when we first got promoted to the Championship, I think. So, yeah, Van Hijn is in the club. Bram Dijkstra is a player who I'm quite excited about. He's not the finished article yet, but I think he's definitely working his way towards it. He is 26, soon to be 27, signed from Ajax on a free transfer. There's something there. He's got the numbers in the right places. The numbers just aren't necessarily high enough. I think giving him game time in the Premier League could turn Dijkstra into a very, very good footballer. And finally, Alan Roberts, the 26-year-old Welshman, signed from Ulsan in South Korea for £2.1 million. Basically, what I did to find this guy is I clicked on Ihataren and said find similar players, and then tweaked some numbers, and Alan Roberts turned up, and I went, you know what, he is a like-for-like replacement, really, for Ihataren. And you can kind of see here, shape-wise, very similar, attribute-wise, kind of similar. I mean, arguably, Ihataren's probably a little bit more technical when it comes to certain aspects of the game, but Alan Roberts isn't too dissimilar, mentally as well. They've kind of, I mean, they're not very similar at all, are they? But I think it should be fine. And because we haven't spent any money, we've still got £56 million left to spend. Not a huge amount of our wage budget to spend because we did technically go over it. A lot of our investment in the summer has basically been on wages. So yeah, we need to maybe bring in a couple more players, but I don't really want to do it if we don't have to. Goal for this season is just stay in the league. And according to the season preview, it's not going to happen. 1,000 to 1 to stay in the league. Not even to stay in the league, to win the league. 1,000 to 1 to win the league. We need to do better than that. That finishing bottom is just disastrous. They reckon that's what our formation is going to be. It's going to be very similar. Probably Alan's going to be up front instead of Nguyen Van Hijn, but most other players are probably going to be there. Before we've even got to the first game of the season, we have sold out our season tickets. 11,481. I mean, is that all of it? All 11,481. So bear in mind, our stadium, we're currently playing at Brighton's, which is fine, but we are going to be getting it, 12,000. So literally, we've got about 1,000 seats, which aren't season ticket holders, when we move back to the Crab Athletic ground. That's a bit unfair, isn't it? The starting lineup for the first game of the season away from home against Bournemouth. It will be Moumen El Idrissi in goal. He's returned from his loan spell with a work permit so he can play. Diallo will be our right back. He has returned from his loan spell with a work permit. I think this one's a risk. I'm thinking this one might be a risk. El Idrissi is a decent goalkeeper. No real concerns there. It's going to be Chariot and Dijkstra in the middle of defence with Geismaier as the left back. Geismaier is going to play because Jim Gregg isn't particularly match fit. He can only play 45 minutes. I know Chariot can also only play a little bit of football, but he's good. And I don't know whether I mentioned this. We've loaned him again, as you can probably tell. Elliott and Bean in the middle. Corbeau, Laird, Santallan and Rory Allen as our other players. Something else to mention, we have extended the loan deal of Adrian Barton and we're signing him at the end of the season. I can't even remember how much we're paying for him, but we've basically agreed the loan spell. We've agreed to sign him. Can we even find out? £1.6 million. I mean, that's a bargain, isn't it? That's an absolute bargain. Now, this match, realistically, this is going to show whether we are capable of staying in the league. I'm not expecting to do well against Man City later on in the episode, but if we can do something against Bournemouth away from home, maybe a draw, maybe sneak a victory, that shows that we should be capable of staying in the league. It's also very nice of them to put us on TV. We are the Sunday kickoff, I think, so everyone else has played bar. I think it's us, Villa and Burnley as well. What an exciting game that is going to be later on. Santallan with a corner after 3 minutes. It's Romain Charia, and the loanee heads just over the bar. That's his 5th season on loan, I think, or maybe even his 6th season on loan now. El Idrissi with a goal kick finds Charia, lumps it upfield, headed backwards. Elliott's going to go for a run with his yellow card. Theo Corbeau playing in the Premier League. It's Bean, plays it on the ground to nobody. What a terrible idea that was. And now possibly Bournemouth are in on goal. It's Datro. His effort is easily held by El Idrissi. Looks like Diallo has taken a knock, which is, it's fine. It's a cut on his leg. It's not going to be too much of a problem. It is Bournemouth coming forward with the ball. Lipich, maybe, could be his name. Dean Laird's got that, and now Bean can smash that down the right-hand side towards Santallan, who's not going to bother chasing it down. And it's all the way back to Razzi in the Bournemouth goal, who's gone for a kick straight up the other end. Datro to Lipich, could be his name. Diallo's there. Diallo doesn't really do too much. It's over the bar anyway. It's looking quite even. At the moment, it's looking quite even. Campaz with a corner for Bournemouth. Bournemouth arguably looking the better side now. And they've just kind of confirmed that by making it 1-0. Well, we seem to start off quite well. And since maybe halfway through the first half, we've done very little. Bournemouth obviously taking the lead as well from that chance. I mean, Thrush Arms, you've been terrible. You have been terrible for the most part. Elliott and Diallo, really the only two players putting in a performance. 5 minutes into the second half, and Bournemouth are coming forward again with the ball. Plays it on the ground to Datro, back to Sarr, lumps it upfield. We're going to hopefully get there first, and we do. Probably need to think about bringing off Diallo, but he is one of our best players. Allen's going to flick the head on, finds Santallan, the former Liverpool man's effort is blocked. Dean Laird on the volley, and Dean Laird has scored our first ever Premier League goal. It's a volley from outside the area. It sounds more spectacular than what it was, but we scored a goal in the Premier League. I mean, you hope we'd score more than one as the season goes on, but, you know, we've got on the board. It's Geismaier's throw to the goal scorer. Laird loses out, though. And now Bournemouth possibly coming forward again. We are 10 minutes into the second half. Bram Dijkstra back to El Adrisi, the former Ajax man. The former Ajax man is Dijkstra, not El Adrisi. Bean to Laird, through ball towards Santallan in the middle, but doesn't manage to find him. And now Bournemouth passing it about the defence. Over the top, straight over everybody as well, isn't it? And Datro's effort goes blazing over the bar. Datro should have made it 2-1. It's end-to-end stuff at the moment, which is quite good. Santallan's cross finds Laird. Allen's there with a flicked head, and it's straight into the hands of the keeper. And that is going to end that highlight. I think it's time to do a change. There is a goal kick. Right, we're going to do Corbino coming off. Nguyen van Hein is going to be coming on the right-hand side. Do we also do Geismaier for Jim Gregg, the former Bournemouth man, coming on? Is he going to bite the hand that feeds him? That's what you want to see. This isn't what you want to see. Andrew Bean's gone off with an injury as well. Right, we've got plenty of central midfielders on the bench by the looks of it. What do we go for? Robbie Finnegan. I think Finnegan's the one to go for because we spent a lot of money on him in January in last season. So yeah, Finnegan needs to be coming on. On paper and match stats-wise, this isn't a bad result. Bournemouth have been the better side. We've managed to nick a goal. We're down to 10 men through injuries. That's not good. Can we do another sub? I'm just testing the water. No, right, we can't. Now, the system looks weird, but Diallo's not there, remember. He's not on the pitch. Allen's going to drop to be a ball-winning midfielder? No, you can be the box-to-box. Elliott has dropped to be the right back because he can apparently play there. We just need to hold on for the final few minutes. Or nick a goal. Nick a goal is also an option. We've got 6 minutes of injury time, which we are flying through until this free kick. Campaz is going to take it for Bournemouth. It's towards Summerfield. El Adrisi's there, and the ball has found its way into the back of the net. That's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. We are down to 10 men through an injury, and they've just nicked a winner. El Adrisi with a questionable save. 2 slide tackles from 17 and 10. I assume 10 was the man who got the final touch. And Bournemouth are going to pick up the 3 points in our first ever Premier League game. I mean, what's happened here? What happened there? Was all of those in that one highlight? They must have been. 2 injuries. 2 injuries in our first match. Don't worry though, we now have to go and play Manchester City. Nice. So, for Manchester City then, it is going to be Pedicic playing in goal this time because Al Adrisi has kind of annoyed me from that final highlight in the Bournemouth game. Barton, Charrier, Dijkstra and Geismaier in defence. I'm playing Barton because of the injury, obviously, to our right back. Geismaier is still starting because Jim Gregg shouldn't still be playing. They're still only saying 45 minutes. It's going to be Elliott and Finnegan in midfield. Roberts is going to make his debut. Completely forgot to register him for the Bournemouth game. Dean Laird will also be playing on the left-hand side. Santallan and Allen will stick with our strikers. So, considering we couldn't beat Bournemouth or even draw with Bournemouth, I'm not particularly full of hope for the Manchester City game. But then again, this is Football Manager. And sometimes Football Manager decides you're going to beat them. Charrier's taken a knock. We've got massive injury problems right now. We've got injury problems, we've got fitness problems. So having players like Charrier getting injured after, 5 minutes, 6 minutes of the game, not ideal. So far, Man City haven't had a shot yet, though. 32 minutes in, and the first highlight of the game starts with City on the ball towards Angelo on that right-hand side. He's going to go for a run, plays it in the middle, forward to Lorenzo Luca, finds Kai Havertz. Strange signing. Besic. That's not Besic, is it? The former Middlesbrough Chelsea one? Is he Chelsea? Surely can't be. It's going to be a corner. I was just waffling on there. I didn't really see what happened. Pedro Porro is going to take the corner towards the front post. Dean Laird gets it clear. Angelo collects. He's gone up for a run into the area. 2 players are with him. It's a good block. It's going to be another corner. Porro's corner again towards Lorenzo Luca, and the big Italian heads over the bar. It's a goal kick, which we're not going to see. Instead, we're going to see a free kick for City. Besic gets it from Doyle. Lorenzo Luca towards Havertz. What are you doing, Charrier? Just let the ball go to him. It's a terrible pass. Lorenzo Luca is going to keep the highlight alive for City. Into the penalty area. Crosses it into Havertz. And Havertz's headed effort goes well over the bar. 35 minutes played. And Man City have had all the highlights, but we have had some chances. We're just not seeing them. Half time, it's 0-0. And technically, XG-wise, we have been the better team. We have been the better team when it comes to shots. They've had a few more or one more on target. Realistically, it's quite even. Strangely, it's quite even. I'm pleased with the number of shots. Yeah, can they just be better? Can that be a thing that we tell our team? We're going to go straight into the second half with no changes. I'm looking at Geismaier. I'm looking at Elliott. I'm looking at Charrier. That's our 3rd injury in 2 games. Mark McGuinness is going to come on. He's going to be playing in the Premier League as well. It's weird to think him and Theo Corbino are playing in the Premier League for Dover. That's a very strange thought, isn't it? Inglese to Besic, lumps it upfield, tries to find Angelo, but Geismeyer's there to pick up the ball. Are we going to do a little bit of building ourselves? Finnegan's going for a run. Number 7, on the ground for Rory Allen. Plays it to Finnegan, forward to Dean Laird, plays through Santallan. He's given up running. He's given up running and just let Saka collect that ball. I'm surprised Saka's playing for Man City as well. Luca, back to Angelo. Now Inglese, forward intercepted by Big Bram Dijkstra. Geismeyer to Bram Dijkstra again. Now Finnegan. 52 minutes on the clock and a poor pass from Finnegan. And Man City can come forward again. Callum Doyle apparently is his name. Besic to Havertz. Left-hand side invites Saka forward. Plays it on the ground to João Felix. This team's ridiculous, isn't it? Back to Saka again. In the middle to Besic. And his effort goes over the bar. Kai Havertz is coming off, but Dylan Munro's coming on. I imagine he's world class. Yes, he is. Well, we are going to battle their world-class striker with a distinctly average winger. Theo Corbeau is going to come on the right-hand side. Nguyen Van Hine is going to come on up front for Rory Allen. I mean, it's a 0-0 draw. Realistically, we should be shutting up shop, but I want to win. I don't like drawing or losing. I just like winning. It's not the most exciting game of football, but the fact that it's still 0-0, we've got 15 minutes left to play. I'm not quite sure what that free kick was or that save from the Mohawked Gomez in goal. So what's happening? What's going on with this highlight? Gomez is going for a run around his penalty area. Rolls out to Ruben. That's Ruben Diaz, isn't it? It's Callum Doyle, forward to Besic now. Phil Foden. Foden's still at City as well. Barton plays it back to Perisic. Dijkstra, who has had a questionable game, I think, and so's McGuinness. And Lorenzo Luca really should have scored. How are we still in this game? We're still playing positive as well. I mean, a good manager would change that, but unfortunately, you're stuck with me. McGuinness heads the ball clear. The highlight ends. Final 10 minutes and another chance, but it could be going our way. Geismar on that left-hand side. Terrible pass. Our passing has been horrendous. Every single City chance seems to come from a misplaced pass. Munro's in on goal. He's forced another save out of Perisic, Perisic is on, 7-5 at the moment. He must have saved maybe 8 or 9 shots. It's going to be Phil Foden to take the corner towards the front post. Elliott gets it clear. End the highlight, please, before Saka gets there. Or carry it on, fair enough. Or now end it, fair enough. 5 minutes of injury time. And, oh, no, this isn't good. We've got another highlight in injury time. Bram Dijkstra to Finnegan. Ball forward towards TC. Does find him as well. Now Elliott back to the right back. Barton, Corbeau on the right hand side. Now Elliott with a bit of space. Try and do something. Finds Finnegan. Finds Barton on the right hand side. If we can nick a goal here. It's fallen to Santa. Deanie Laird. Oh my word, we've just done this. This is a thing. What do I do now? I'm desperately looking at my players, working out what formation I can go to. I think I do have a park the bus somewhere. I don't have a park the bus set up. Right, we're going to quickly set one up. Right, it's a 4-4-2 park the bus. I now need to sort out all the players in their right positions. I mean, I guess that works. Sure. Santallan's still up there. We've got Nguyen Van Hine playing as a striker. I mean, we're 1-0 up against Man City. Dean Laird is our top goal scorer in the Premier League with 2 goals out of 2 games. And, I mean, this is unexpected. We've just beaten Man City. We couldn't beat Bournemouth, but we've beaten Man City. Perisic gets an 8.6, saving 9 shots. If you told me our first 3 points in the Premier League would come against Manchester City, I would have said you were lying. That's ridiculous. Well then, 2 games in to our first ever season in the Premier League, and we're basically in Europe, I think. I mean, we're pretty much guaranteed Europe at this point. 3 points on the board, 1 win, 1 defeat to our names. Perisic is up there on the highest average ratings already. How has Julio Cesar scored 5 in 2 games? He's alright. He's not actually that good. I mean, he's better than my players. Because it is our first season in the Premier League, I think we're going to do slightly more regular matches. So we might have a slightly longer season than 6 episodes. We are probably going to go... I'm leaning towards Arsenal and Newcastle. I don't know why. I'm leaning towards those, because that sounds like 2 defeats. Do we push it? We could do Brighton. Brighton-Burnley. It's exciting. It's 2 big money games. It's 2 winnable games. I think that's what we're going to go for. So, thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, do remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and join me again for Burnley and Brighton. And two more wins. Definitely we'll be in Europe by the end of next episode. Thanks for watching.